Wilder will always have a chance. You know, he's always got that big right hand that he possesses. It's all up to Usyk, really. Does he want to stand there and get caught with the right hand, or is he going to come out and showcase his boxing skills, his movement, his angles, and everything else that he's been showing in his fights?
Very, very true. Let's see how that unfolds.
Against Oleksandr Usyk.
He's got every chance against Oleksandr Usyk. You know, he could
Pack it in, Joe.
No, but listen, because he's such a dangerous puncher.
Listen, I thought Joe Parker didn't know too much of him, but he didn't. And you know why he didn't? Because he stayed in there with him every second of the way.
Showed that heart and desire, didn't he?
Mate, and that's what being undefeated does for you. Until you're defeated, you don't know how to lose. And what he done that night, he stayed there. He was in the fight all the way.
Boxing experts are sounding the alarm, warning that Oleksandr Usyk could be in serious trouble as he steps into the ring with the unstoppable Deontay Wilder. Joseph Parker, who recently missed a shot at an undisputed title, shares his take on why Usyk's next fight could be dangerous. He explains that Usyk focuses on the biggest names in the sport, looking to solidify his legacy. Lighter or newer opponents don't offer the same challenge, and Parker believes Wilder is the kind of fighter who can change a fight in one moment with his famous right hand. Usyk's speed and boxing IQ are impressive, but Parker warns that Wilder's power can test even the most disciplined champions.
You probably know best, right, with where Usyk's coming from. He wants to fight the names of this era. And I guess if he looks at Fabio Wardley, he's a new name, or a name coming through. Or, you know, he's a champion of the world now, but he's sort of one of the new, part of the new crop. And I think with what Usyk is saying, he wants to fight everyone who was dominating the heavyweight division in his time.
What do you make of that fight? Do you give Wilder any kind of chance? Because obviously people will be writing him off.
Wilder will always have a chance. You know, he's always got that big right hand that he possesses. It's all up to Usyk, really. Does he want to stand there and get caught with the right hand, or is he going to come out and showcase his boxing skills, his movement, his angles, and everything else that he's been showing in his fights?
Very, very true. Let's see how that unfolds.
Experts say this matchup is a battle of styles. Usyk relies on movement, angles, and technical skill, while Wilder thrives on explosive punches that can end fights instantly. Parker emphasizes that Usyk must balance confidence with caution. One misstep or overcommitment could let Wilder dictate the pace. For Parker, it's not about Usyk's talent. It's about respecting Wilder's capacity to change a fight with a single shot.
I think when we look at the last 10 years, this last decade, and you're talking about characters of the sport, and you look at Deontay Wilder...
Oh, he's up there.
He's up there,
He's box
right?
office.
And you go, please just find one more performance. And when you speak to the guy, and the trouble is that outside of the ring,
But
very, very honest.
Kenny, I mean, this
Simon.
alter ego that we talk about, which is the Bronze Bomber. Yeah. Do you reckon? I mean, he's always been a very personable fellow.
Yes.
Even when he was in British TV studios promoting the fight, the first fight with Tyson Fury, despite there was an element of rancor between them, he was always relatively good-natured. What is this Bronze Bomber mentality? Is it a real thing? And if it is, does he need to get it back? Is he capable of getting it back at this stage in his career after, you know, performances against Zhilei Zhang, against Joseph Parker that were just not reflective of what we recognise to be Deontay Wilder?
Tony Bellew offers a similar but slightly different perspective. He notes that while Wilder may appear less aggressive than in his prime, his punching threat remains significant. Bellew sees this as a high-risk fight where even a cautious Usyk could face danger if Wilder connects. For him, the intrigue is in seeing whether Usyk can neutralize the knockout threat while showcasing his boxing skill. The matchup, he says, is compelling precisely because of Wilder's lingering power.
Is Wilder about fucked though? He's about finished? Because he's looked shady, hasn't he, against
No, listen, I do think he's gun shy. I think he might be shot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. There's no point in saying he's not.
Wilder.
But the last thing you're ever going to lose is that punch. But I do think he's gun shy. I do think he's wary of throwing. And I think...
Do you think it could be interesting, Wilder landing a shot on Usyk? Yeah.
Because you listen, no matter what, Deontay Wilder is still the single biggest puncher in boxing. Even if he's a bit gun shy, even if he's a bit shot, with one shot, he's got more power than anyone else in the world. Yeah. And I genuinely believe that. So
and that
that's
could be
a risky one.
Usyk.
And listen, let's be honest, risk against reward, he's getting no reward literally for that.
Where does he go, Usyk? What should he do now? Like, he's completed the game, hasn't he?
Joe Parker was the original. And Fabio Wardley just ripped the script up. He was amazing in what he'd done.
Wilder himself has commented on the potential clash, even comparing Usyk to a hypothetical prime Mike Tyson in a fantasy scenario. He praises Usyk's skill and ring intelligence, signaling that the Ukrainian is a formidable opponent. Yet, the very comparison highlights the stakes. Anyone facing Wilder must be ready for explosive moments, and the fight's outcome could hinge on tiny openings.
Mike Tyson versus Oleksandr Usyk.
I mean, at this current time,
gotta go with Alexander Usyk.
Dave Allen adds another dimension, looking at legacy and business angles. He points out that defeating Wilder completes a symbolic set for Usyk, adding Joshua and Fury to his resume. At the same time, Allen emphasizes the commercial side. High-profile matchups generate huge revenue, which often drives fight decisions. He said, "I think beating Wilder completes the set. Joshua, Fury, Wilder were the biggest three of our generation before Usyk came along and blew it open. So I understand it from that perspective, and probably a money-generating perspective as well." He also suggests that Wilder's current form may not warrant a title shot, though the financial incentive could make the fight inevitable. Allen's view reinforces that heavyweight boxing is about more than skill. It's about timing, opportunity, and spectacle. He added, "But the current Deontay Wilder doesn't deserve a world title shot in my opinion, but if it's good for business, it will happen. But I don't think he's a deserving challenger, no." History offers additional insight through Igor Makontsev, the only man to defeat Usyk. Makontsev recalls that speed and targeting the body are key to exploiting weaknesses. He notes that liver shots troubled Usyk in their amateur bouts, a tactic Wilder could use if he wants to pull off a major upset. Makontsev's advice underlines that even elite fighters have vulnerabilities, and strategy may be the deciding factor against a power puncher like Wilder.
I told him yesterday.
What did you tell him?
You said more quickly, more fast. Only this, only speed, only speed. You big guy, strong guy. Because they need. If you want to win, you need to have big speed, Because you.
No, he has speed.
Huh?
Yeah.
More like Usyk. You need speed, better like Usyk. Yeah. Speed. Yeah. If you will be shot, clean shot, he's down. Body shot, he's down. You don't like body shots? Don't like body shots.
Across all perspectives, the central theme is clear. Usyk is highly skilled and disciplined, but Wilder's power and unpredictability create danger. Analysts agree that Usyk must execute perfect timing and movement to stay safe. One slip or poor decision could let Wilder take control in an instant. The matchup is as much about mental sharpness and preparation as it is about punching skill.
No matter what anyone says, people gonna watch that damn fight and be holding their breath the whole time. I got Usyk knocking him out because I figured something out about Wilder. If there's punches in his face, he can't punch. And Joseph Parker did that. Joseph Parker either had punches in his face or he was way over there. So the whole time, Wilder was just trying to find. That brother was like, pop, pop, pop. Brother, as soon as he opened his eyes back, Joseph Parker was way over there. Nobody's gonna keep fists in Wilder's face more than Usyk. With the footwork, pop, 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 pop.
Fighters' mindsets also play a role. Parker highlights that Usyk's focus on elite opponents is admirable, but risky. Bellew, Allen, and Makontsev suggest that understanding one's own limits and reaction under pressure is just as important as knowing the opponent. Against Wilder, a single lapse could undo years of preparation, making strategy, anticipation, and composure essential.
Where does he go, Usyk? What should he do now? Like, he's completed the game, hasn't
I
he?
thought Joe Parker was the original.
Yeah,
And Fabio
and
Wardley
that's
just
kind of
ripped the
finished,
script
yeah.
up. He was amazing in what he'd done.
So the Wardley fight's potentially interesting for a little bit. Can Wardley survive for a bit? But it's game over, isn't
You
it?
can't expect Fabio Wardley to challenge.
Would you give him not a
Usyk.
chance?
I love Fabio,
And it's no
because
disrespect to him,
I
is
think the
it?
will to Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, me too.
But this,
Me too.
and
Fair
he's a
play to
very
him.
good fighter. Listen, I thought Joe Parker didn't know too much of him, but he didn't. And you know why he didn't? Because he stayed in there with him every second of the way.
Showed that
He
heart
just
and desire, didn't it?
made, and that's what being undefeated does for you. Until you're defeated, you don't know how to lose. And what he done that night, he stayed there. He was in the fucking fight all the way. I thought he might be losing. It was really close.
Very
but,
close,
but
yeah.
ultimately, he was in there.
Fans are drawn to the matchup because it's unpredictable. Wilder can turn fights with one punch, while Usyk's speed and skill provide counterbalance. This combination creates suspense and tension, making it not just a contest of strength, but of intellect and decision-making. Analysts predict a fight where split-second choices could change the outcome, adding drama for viewers and analysts alike.
Look, I think that Oleksandr Usyk has achieved everything you can achieve in boxing. You know, two-time undisputed world heavyweight champion, undisputed cruiserweight champion. And he's thinking now in years to come when people look back on this modern era, and he has to box Deontay Wilder, who has played a massive part in this era of boxing.
Yep.
And victory over Deontay Wilder would have cleaned up this era. So I totally understand him.
He's a bit of a unicorn, is Oleksandr Usyk in the heavyweight division, and that's kind of how I'm treating him now. He's given me everything that I wanted from him. He gave me 2 against Joshua, he gave me 2 against Fury, he gave me 2 against Dubois, and he delivered.
Wilder assertion is not in keeping with what Oleksandr Usyk represents. He gives fighters the best fights, he takes the best fights.
The business side of the fight cannot be ignored. Allen notes that a high-profile clash generates huge revenue, which can influence matchmaking. Yet legacy is on the line too. Losing to Wilder would carry repercussions for Usyk's career and historical standing. Every decision, from training to fight strategy, is weighed against both risk and potential reward, adding layers to the narrative beyond just the in-ring action.
Maybe. I mean, look, Usyk's just looking for the commercial fights that will make him money, and he deserves that, I don't think it's a competitive fight. I'd like to see Wilder take another fight, maybe a Chisora. I think that's a great fight or something like that, and then maybe move on after that. But for me, coming off what we've seen recently, I don't think it's a competitive fight.
Wilder's current abilities are debated among experts. Bellew thinks his power remains a major factor, even if he shows caution. Parker emphasizes that one clean punch can upend any plan. Makontsev's insights highlight exploitable weaknesses, particularly to the body, suggesting that Wilder's path to victory may lie in capitalizing on these openings. Each perspective converges on the idea that preparation, adaptability, and timing are critical.
He gets paid well for them because he's worth it, but this feels like I'm collecting a name for a distant time and maybe a check rather than collecting a legacy by beating all that's best around me and then leaving before maybe Moses Atoma arrives in serious nick.
I think it is off-kilter from what we've experienced with Oleksandr Usyk in the past, but I think he's kind of earned that right.
The matchup is a test of contrasting styles. Usyk's defensive mastery and movement must overcome Wilder's knockout power. Analysts note that small adjustments could decide the fight, making strategy as important as physical skill. Fans and experts alike are drawn to the unpredictability, with Wilder's threat looming over every exchange. The outcome hinges on both fighters' ability to adapt, plan, and respond in real time.
You look at Wilder now, he's not the fighter he was. So why would Usyk want to fight him? It's an easy fight for more money. On his record, in a few years' time, we can say I boxed the best. I boxed Fury, I boxed AJ, I boxed Wilder. Regardless if Wilder was past his best, he's proved everything he has to prove. Now he's thinking, right, I want to get as much money as possible. So Wilder's the biggest purse out there for him.
Questions linger. Will Usyk respect Wilder's power enough to adjust his approach? Can he maintain control without falling into danger? Parker and Bellew stress that Usyk's skill is not enough on its own. Wilder's explosive ability means a single mistake could be costly. Makontsev's historical insights reinforce that exploiting weaknesses is key, emphasizing the strategic dimension of the matchup. For Wilder, finding and capitalizing on even a small opening could create one of the great heavyweight upsets.
Oleksandr Usyk, have negotiations started? Are we likely to get that fight with Usyk?
Negotiations have started, and it's looking good. This is a real conversation, this is a real talk. When the end product is finished, we will see what we have a fight or not, you know what I mean? Because this is still the business of boxing.
Ultimately, this fight is about risk, preparation, and legacy. Experts agree that Usyk's technical skills make him a top fighter, but Wilder's power ensures danger with every punch. Parker warns about the inherent threat. Bellew highlights timing and risk. Allen discusses legacy and business, and Makontsev points out potential vulnerabilities. The combination of these perspectives makes the fight compelling, dramatic, and highly anticipated.
Stand by everything that we said then. But for Wilder, from that side of this thing, take the fight. This is this is a golden goose come down from the heavens. You tripped over a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. If we're talking about what the WBC owes to fighters or whether or not it's legitimate and who's got to fight their mandatories and all this stuff, they've given Usyk a voluntary, even though he's been out on injuries, made people wait. There's all these mandatories for all these belts, and he's still getting voluntary. And listen, everything you said is legit, all right? Making people wait, it's kind of up.
As the Usyk versus Wilder showdown looms, one thing is clear. This fight is far from predictable. Usyk's speed and skill meet Wilder's explosive power, and the stakes have never been higher. Who will control the ring? Who will survive the danger? Every punch, every move could change history, and the heavyweight world is holding its breath. Don't miss a single moment of this epic clash. Subscribe to Ring Rivalry, hit that like button, and drop your predictions in the comments. Will Usyk outsmart the Bronze Bomber, or is Wilder ready to shock the world? Stay tuned, because this is one fight you'll want to witness from start to finish.